The picture of Indians being sent home, chained, handcuffed in a military aircraft from US. This picture, this tragedy in itself saddens me so much. You may say they did illegal things, they went there illegally, so they deserve punishment. Whether this sort of punishment, I don't know. Chaining, being handcuffed. Number two, you may say that, ironically, you're saying this in a website, an American website itself. And you have been a hypocrite because you have been there in England for a few years working there. I will answer all the questions. Now, going to United States when I was a student, even when I was a school student, it was one of the most coveted dreams. People would cut their hands off to go to US. I was usually always get very surprised about it. I never had that sort of urge to go by hook and crook to United States or Europe in that sense. Now, what is behind that? I'll give you an example. When I was a child, the first mega serial in Doordarshan was called Hum Log. And there was this character called the Bilaiti Chacha. When Bilaiti Chacha used to come home, I don't remember whether he was there, he stayed in Europe or United States. There was a huge uproar in the family. Everybody got prepared for a welcoming and to be the best in them to greet this Bilaiti Chacha. This is just a serial, but I have seen real families, real homes, highly literate. They are really so much in awe of United States. And if somebody stays there of their family member, when they come back for vacations in India, they just prepare themselves like anything. And I reminded of this Bilaiti Chacha. Even the Indians who stay in US or UK, they regularly come here to just get that awe-inspiring look, the awe behavior of the local people. Oh, you stay in the United States. Oh, you stay in Europe. My God, you are from heaven. That sort of look. And I have seen them coming regularly here, telling worse things about India and Indians getting the reflected glory through them of the countries they live in. When I was in England, I just went there and I just said I went to work, I went to earn so that I can build a practice here with that saved money. Of course, I have learned a lot. The fantastic people I have met there, but I was already well trained in India itself to do the work, and they respect me for that. So I was already trained when I went there, learned the other things, earned my money, and I always told to them on the face that I will go back home whenever. For example, I tell you very interesting things because I always felt that I'm not one of them. Though many of them were fantastically friendly to me, I had lovely, warm moments with them. But for example, I'm traveling in a public transport and like a train, and always the seat beside me would remain empty. Nobody would sit there. So these things made me very sensitive, and I knew I'm going back home, and I told them over their face, and I have come back home, and I believe that's the best decision in my life. So if you want to go there, get trained, do a respectful job, get legally in there. Now, these sort of photographs, these sort of insults as a nation is really, really hard to. And why should we have this inferiority complex that unless we go to US or UK, we are nobody? Unless we develop our own country to that level and strive hard for that, they will never respect. Even if I'm a millionaire or billionaire in US or UK, and India is still looked down upon, they will never respect me there. And they will always think me one of them. For example, when I was in England, they used to equate me with the similar people, those who are there and they are not very up in the social ladder and they look like me. They are from the subcontinent. And they used to ask me, hey, how would you go back home and stay there? I used to get very, very surprised. What do they know about India? They even don't know that the cinema hall where I was there is much more inferior than those of my city, Kolkata. And there are lots of other opportunities. So I believe that these people, like when I came back from England, the maximum frisking and checking was done by the Asian people, and they do it best. Those who have already stayed permanently there, they don't like us. And I realized that they are being used to frisk us, to harass us. That was very interesting. So I said that I want to improve my country. I will come back to my country. I don't have that inferiority complex that I have to go. I went there to compete, to find out how good I am, and if I can learn something from them, come back and do the service for my people here in India. And I have really, really benefited from this decision. So why not just have this? Just we should discard this feeling of inferiority, that we are inferior, and unless we go to these places, we won't be someone in the social ladder. This is totally absurd, and there are huge amount of dark facets there. Each and every country have their dark facets, and I have seen them from close. Yes, we in India, we have full of corruption, we have full of bad people, but there are fantastic human beings here, and there are people who are really honest, and their integrity is beyond question. So why not, when I'm born Indian, try to improve my country rather than reach these distant lands, hook and crook, and come back shackled, chained, handcuffed in military aircrafts. It's really, really sad.